Today I'll show you how to make some incredible textured art. We are going to be using all sorts of exciting techniques to make a 3D bee that starts out as just a few dots of paint. We'll be using some paste, acrylic paint, stencils and more. Let me show you how to do it. It's Saturday late evening and this is the moment. I shouldn't say that, but that's the truth. This is probably the most stressful moment of my week. In the morning I was still finishing my latest piece, the lighthouse. And by the evening, what am I going to do next? What am I supposed to do? If I don't start now, the video won't be ready. So I'm really sitting here and pondering. And I went to the kitchen. I'll show you what happened. Welcome to the life of the hoarder. So I went to the kitchen. I looked at the box. And I thought, this is amazing. Look at all the patterns. It's going to be so useful. What about making a bee? This is some beautiful honeycomb. Obviously got rid of the rest and this might be very useful. Hopefully. Which canvas? I do have a nice, quite a big one. Let's make some nice multicolored textured background. I've been looking around for some bee related colors, let's just say that. So we've got buff titanium, iridescent gold, oh that's nice, antique gold, burnt sienna, deep yellow, orange yellow, that's the brown I like, burnt umber, bit of black and white. Let's start with this. You know, those popular paintings with those dots, when I see them I was like, what is that going to be? Nothing related to the dots, of course not, but for some reasons we all like looking at those dots. So I'm randomly positioning them. I don't even know how I'm going to proceed. Obviously I can't squeeze this one, little blob. But it's looking nice. A little bit of black. This is really small amount because I know what black does to the painting. And how about white? If this goes wrong, white. Oh no, oh that was a huge blob. Look at this. And now we are spreading it. Yay. Lots of orange. Way too much orange. I did not expect such a huge amount, honestly. So fix it. This is so unlike everything that I've done so far. I think I'm going to blend in colors. Once I coat it all nicely, I'll think what else we could add. I'm trying to make a background that will make my bee happy. This is the yellow shade that will look awesome here. I wanted just yellow, and this yellow, look at this. This will make a really nice addition. So I won't leave anything till I'm happy. That's my rule. Super curious. I'm putting it here. Oh, that's hardly visible. I need to spread it really thick. Let's see what happens. Haha. Okay, that's interesting. Now I'm thinking, would I prefer a different color? Yeah, I would prefer a different color. Yellow perhaps now. What about this color? You know what? I'm disappointed. I am disappointed. What if I try spray paint? Okay, I do like it. Sprinkled. Just one super small amount. Oh, that's nice. Goodness me, that's so... That gets dry like immediately. Now, this is another treasure. That's from a clementine crate. Absolutely amazing, this bit. Yay, that's awesome. Love it. Love this color here. Okay, so I'm making more of it. Don't want it perfect, just want a little bit. Wow. Wow, that's so nice. Now I'm happy. I really apologize. I do hope you won't be offended with me. But the longer I look at it, yes, it's nice, but it's just not me. I need some blues. Some of the colors will stay, some of the colors won't. Let's see what happens. I am adding the blues when everything is still wet. Oh, look at this, is a gorgeous blue. I'm in love with this grey blue now. So this is all dry. I'm adding a bit of orange just like that. Maybe even with a bit of white. See, white makes it really pop. And now lighter blue here. Maybe I'm going to do like a light wash. Oh, I've got really runny turquoise left over from the pour with some blossoms. So that'll be nice for some drippings. Yes, drippings. This is dry. This is the other side of the cling film, so don't worry. But look how pretty it looks together. I put a scoop of white and Wedgwood. It's a beautiful blue. I'm going to use quite a lot of water. If you ask why, it's because I want just a very thin film of white and blue. I don't want to cover everything. I want it to be translucent. Oh, that's... Oh, how pretty. How pretty, how pretty. Sorry, I can't stop myself. I see those colors. I'm just... Take some of it off. Let's see what stays there. I want to reduce some of my honeycomb. I think we had some sections here. This time I'm going to use a sponge. So I also have a different color. Oh, nice. Oh, that's really nice. That's a good honey color. Oh, how lovely. Now I can proceed. If I want any white on top, any drizzles, obviously I am still going to use this. Yes. A little bit of white in places. Not too much. That's it. I want some turquoise here. I wasn't going to add so much white. So see, you can still see the orange, don't you? But we've got this film of turquoise, which I think looks really nice, personally. I should protect my table and everything else, but I do want to create some splatter and some drippings. Very long drippings. Okay, we can have some more. You can always do them with a brush. Splatter. I'll finish it off with some splashes from, I think that was the lion painting. I did 2 lions, the simplified version and the more painterly one, if you're interested. It was fun. So I want some drips from my honey and some more drizzling. I absolutely like splatter. So I think it's a nice spot for the bee now. Time for the bee. And I want to make one cute bumblebee. I started sketching using 4B pencil. B stands for black, so the higher the B number, the softer the graphite and the darker your image will be. That's why I like using it for transfer. I started with just a quick sketch of the outline. I started on one leg. They do have bizarre legs. I looked at various bees online. Yeah, those legs are strange. Something like that. A little monster from close up. Okay, it's quite big. It's going to be this way, of course. I kind of imagine it this big, so time to transfer maybe. Whoops, I got it stuck so it doesn't move while I'm doing this, and I know it's super annoying, so switch the volume off. You can use something else, you can use anything blunt, but just don't rip your paper if you want to use my special transfer method. I know there are some people who draw over, but for me this is much quicker. I know the background is pretty dark. Let's see how well it transfers. Yay! So I've got two bees, a smaller bee and a bigger bee. This is my special paste. It's a leftover from the previous painting. If you wonder what's inside, I'll link the video here. But generally I mix heavy gesso with all-purpose filler, and sometimes I add acrylic paint as well. I'm testing now because this was left in a jar for quite some time. I don't want it to really dry. The nozzle is not the thinnest, but it's alright because I am going to do the outline only. Maybe I'm just thinking of spreading a thinner layer and then perhaps I'll build it up later. So this is what I'm doing now. See, I'm not trying to make a straight line even. I do want a smooth eye, so I might leave that gap for later. So moment of truth, let's see how that goes if we spread it a bit. Oh, you see the brush? Actually, I was worried, but I think it's going to be better than I thought. I prepared a needle, but I don't think I'll need it. For those of you who are new to my channel, for each episode I try to think of something different, and I love trying it as you watch me, because I think it's more interesting, and especially for me, and it's got this element of the unknown. As you can see, I'm adding quite a thickish layer. So at the moment, let's leave a gap, a little gap here for whatever I decide to do later. So how is everyone? The weather here has been absolutely crazy. Changes basically every few minutes, I would say. Can't wait for proper spring. I'm thinking of the direction of the fur. Would you call it fur? Definitely looks fairy. Fair or hair. Let's try to make some imitation feathers. And what am I saying? I'm doing it in the direction that the fur would grow. So either the needle or the other brush. I'm making them quite deep because once I paint it, the paint will obviously cover some of those marks, so we won't see them so well. I'll try to do the antennas. I've got some really thin cone, but I don't know if there's anything left in it. Let's see. Just enough. I have been pondering about the wings, how to make them. At some point I thought maybe I'll use glue gun, maybe I'll use resin. But at the end of the day, I thought it's going to kind of disturb my overall feel. So I think the wings should be also with the paste, but very smooth. But before I apply the wings, I am super tempted to try some color on that texture. I've got black, white, and a little bit of, let's say, grey blue. That's really grey. Maybe I wanted more blue. Prussian blue. I know it should be all darker. I want a little bit of that color first. Time for some yellow. I will be perhaps adding a little bit of orange as well. I'll take a smaller brush to finish the edges. So this part will be yellow. This is going to be black. This section, I believe, should be yellow. I might make it a bit bigger. I really like the shade of Naples yellow. I'm sure I'm going to apply some more yellow on top once I use the black anyway. And yes, I remember I still don't have those wings. Getting over the territory of orange. I can also use a really small brush, make individual strands. This part, because it's so bulbous and fat, it's going to be the lightest. So I'm making those edges dirty grey. The legs are going to be the same color. I've got some leftover paste, a grey one actually. It's not much, but I'm going to squeeze it into the eye. Now I need to be gentle with this. I want it really nicely spread. I love 3D projects. I wonder what your thoughts are on 3D. I know some of you are a bit anxious to start, but this is so much fun once you get into it. I'm going to fix the imperfections because I want to spread it rather thinly, as I said. A flat brush now. Basically painting now with the paste, flat, almost flat. This bumblebee reminds me of a sunflower somehow. I'll try and make some patterns, but if I don't like them, I'm going to spread them flat again. Yeah, I'm liking it. I'm liking it. Just gentle, not too much. But so far, I am definitely liking it. And all that section as well. I'm going to put more paste here because this wing is in the foreground. Wow, I managed to make it straight. Okay, spreading. One thing I don't want to disturb the one underneath. Honestly, how do those tiny wings hold that huge body? It's a miracle. And now some patterns on this one. Don't think they'll be identical. Okay, I am leaving it to dry and we'll paint it tomorrow. I was about to leave it, believe me, when I realized that part of one of the hind legs should be seen. Very quickly, I'm going to use the paste and it doesn't have to be so big. Time for the eye. It's all dry now. I'll probably do a couple of layers to make it super smooth. Oh, that's so much better. And now the wings. Not sure what color to use on those wings because they should be almost transparent. Well, they'll be translucent, but that means that we'll have to see a little bit of the background. That makes it a bit tricky. I picked those three colors: buff titanium, portrait pink, and light gold, titanium white, and I'm going to create some kind of a beigey tone. So let me cover both of them. I am thinking of adding some darker colors on the wings and then maybe a layer of white on top. I think that white and Wedgwood blue look really nice as a top layer. I am going to try and find the marks that you see them? At an angle I can see them, but I'll have to hold it this way to see what I'm doing because I really want to go in those lines. So I do have some nice grooves made. If you're making something like this, if you're using this type of brush, it has to be quite wet. This brush will not work with dry paint. To make the veins look 3D, we need to add some darker tone now. I won't be adding everywhere, here and there, to give it some depth. No, these are not birds. These are British foxes. Crazy, huh? In London foxes, I should say. Last touches on the wings with even lighter paint now. I wanted the ends to be much lighter. Icing on the cake now. What do you think? He needs a name, doesn't he? Absolutely. Well, there we are. I hope you enjoyed my bee. This one is really up my alley. It's the kind of art I personally enjoy the most, so I hope you liked it too. If you would like to get access to more of my content, please check out my Patreon, where I upload extended versions of my weekly tutorials. Oh, by the way, this original piece is also available on my website to purchase, abcreativeofficial.com. Thank you so much for watching, and see you next week. Bye bye!